Hello everyone and welcome to another Marvel Crisis Protocol unboxing, the other two releases for September, at least as far as the UK is concerned, not confirmed. CP26, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and CP27, Ghost Rider. They go along with Doctor Strange and Wong, who I did an unboxing of yesterday, if you want to go check that out. Both interesting in their own rights. Ghost Rider's got a place in the Defenders, of course, and Ant-Man and the Wasp have new style character cards and introduce the transform mechanic because they go from large to small, which could be used for a bunch of different stuff going forwards, like they could probably do an embiggen thing for Miss Marvel, for instance. Who knows? Anyway, we'll go in order. CP26 first, so we'll put Ghost Rider to one side, just for the start here, and we shall crack them open and see what we get. Now I will say, as far as small Ant-Man and Wasp go, I wish they were maybe like a third smaller than they are. I don't want them to be literally tiny, because that's weird, even though it would be more thematically apt. But they're just the right size where it looks like they brought their kids to work. For me, it's a little off-putting. A third smaller than they are, just a third, and it would have been perfect. So this does also come with the new rules regarding how transformations work. I saw that on this side. But their cards are essentially split into two. You still flip them to their wounded side, but they have a large or normal form and a tiny form. And depending on the abilities you use, you flip between them. So this is Ant-Man's assembly on the bottom. Oh, no. Step 4. Tut. Also, on the video yesterday, I've assembled Doctor Strange since filming that. The instruction for placing him on the magical circle that holds him aloft, it's just a picture. It just shows just put him on it. Doesn't show where, doesn't show how. You have to wing it, and it's not well explained. And there's how you attach the base. How nice of them to waste a space saying attach base. That's Tiny Ant-Man. He's 2 sections. Wasp is 2 sections, and then Wasp herself. Also got to put the antenna on the helmet, which is redundant and irrelevant and should not be an assembly step, but the rest of it looks fine. Getting horrible flashbacks to Captain Marvel's arms from the starter box there, but hopefully it's not nearly as bad as that was. We have our sprue. Oh, they're see-through. Interesting, I didn't know that. The Wasp's wings. Would you leave them like that, or would you paint them? I worry that if you left them, it'd be really obvious that, hey, it's just see-through plastic. I'm not sure. They painted them on the official art. I don't know. Your bases. So, if you don't have any spare bases, although let's face it, you do, but if you didn't, these are the 4 you'd have to use for the big and small versions. Speaking of small, that is Ant-Man's tiny form and normal form, I think. Actually, no, definitely not. They're here. You know what? That is a little bit smaller than I thought. Maybe the picture, I don't think that is actually to scale compared to the normal size. And there's Tiny Wasp. That's a little bit better when you see it in person like that. I still would have preferred a little bit smaller, but that's not too bad. Yeah, there's Tiny Ant-Man. Okay. So here are their very fancy cards. I think they're the same size as the normal. I'll check once I get Ghost Riders open. I think they're the same size as the card, it's just they're printed horizontally rather than vertically. So I won't bother getting that out. That's Poison, Energy, Avengers Affiliation, because Ant-Man's in the Avengers, and Stagger or Stun. I always get those two confused. So we have 3 tactics cards. Reversal, Pim Particles, No Escape. Unaffiliated Reactive. Pause it if you want to read it. Speaking of which, I've obviously since read Doctor Strange's tactics cards that came in his box. They are super interesting. And that is also an unaffiliated active for Ant-Man or Wasp for Pim Particles. Changing a traffic cone to a massive size so the Hulk can throw it. That's good art. And then No Escape. Why is Ant-Man fleeing from ants? Unaffiliated Reactive. Sorry, I got caught up reading the text of this one. Move action is within 2 of 2 or more allied characters before the enemy character moves. You may spend 1 each to play this card. Roll 4 dice, deal 1 damage each. Okay, there's a chance to attack running enemies, like for instance if they're holding an objective. And you don't need Ant-Man and the Wasp to use it, because I know Ant-Man and the Wasp, as we look at their character cards, they've been getting, well, no, not so much Wasp, but Ant-Man, which is hopefully in focus, he's been getting criticised a lot for being kinda not good. He's got 5 health, he's 3 threat, medium move, size 2, 3-2-3 for his defense, and then of course he has his normal set of attacks, and then he has his tiny set of attacks where his strength goes up relative to his size, so he gets like a 6 physical, he gets low range. The thing about Ant-Man and the Wasp though is when they're in their tiny forms, they can't hold objectives. They drop any objectives they're holding. They do have advantages, for instance gaining stealth, gaining reroll on attacks or defense, no, it's defense and dodge, being able to move for free, place his character within 3 of its current position for 0 when he's small, because he's flying around on his flying ant, whose name I can't remember from the cinematic universe. Was it just Andy or something? Anyway, and he can change form, and changing form is only 1 power. He's not super fantastic, but he's only 3 threat. I think people are too much down on this character because he's size 3. Throw him in an Avengers setup as well, and you've got Captain America's passive kicking in. Actually, does Captain America's passive reduce a 1 cost superpower to 0? I don't remember if there's a stipulation regarding that. Anyway, and again, on his wounded side, you still have the normal and the tiny forms. I don't believe he changes. Still got 5 health. 3-2-3. Medium move still. Oh, his normal movement becomes small in tiny form, so that's why he has a free... It's essentially a size small plus a size 3. Okay. I think that I'm almost sure that's identical to the normal size card, it's just they printed it long ways instead. Good, because I was worried about storage space. And here we have Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp. Medium move size 2, 5 health as well, 3 threat as well, 3-2-3, which is the same as Ant-Man. She moves large when she shrinks though, and is medium move normal, and she's much more focused with doing energy attacks. She's more aggressive than Ant-Man is, but doesn't have the same type of movement superpowers, for instance. She can fly though, and Ant-Man can't unless he's using his hitch a ride. And yeah, she's a bit more aggressive, she's a bit more powerful. Still can't hold objectives when shrinking. Again, feel free to pause if you want to read every literal word. But she's more interesting and faster. That's the other thing that I think puts her apart. And again, also 3 threat. Like, I don't think Ant-Man is as bad as people are saying, but compared to the Wasp, she's the same cost, but she just seems better. And there is her wounded side. Again, I don't believe these 2 characters change on their wounded side. Still got 5 HP. They've already got enough going on with the form changing, which I'm looking forward to seeing them implement in more characters. Like I said, Miss Marvel is the obvious one. You could have her with just like normal sized body, big fists, like in the new Avengers game that came out. And then have her powered up form being beginning, but she can't keep it going forever. Maybe it leeches power every turn or something, who knows. And if they ever did like a remake of Captain Marvel, they could do binary form as a transformation. There's a lot of stuff they could do with this mechanic other than big small. If they ever added an obscure character like Goliath, they could have normal sized and then giant sized. Alright, anyway, I'm going to do a quick break. I'm just going to move this all to one side and we'll get Ghost Rider opened. Okay, not quite super clean, but clean enough. I want to get looking at Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is probably one of the cooler Marvel hero, anti-hero, whatever you want to call him, that I know the least about despite quite liking. I haven't even seen those so bad they're good Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movies. So there we are. He is on a large base, the largest of bases. Mostly, obviously, because he's kicking around on his motorcycle. So you just get the one base. Which is, it's always weirded me out. This isn't the first time this has happened. The base, the one base they give you so you don't have a choice, does not match up to the one on there. Which probably means this was like their preview that they had to get approved from Marvel, and then maybe the base is changed for some reason and now we have these. Not that there's anything wrong with it, I'm pointing out that it's not consistent. So the vast majority of the sprue is of course the motorbike. Oh, where's the assembly instructions? I'm doing this in the wrong order. How could I? Okay, that's pretty bad. Step 4. You have to put his flames that go under his chin and the flames that make up his hair in Ghost Rider form on the tiny skull. The rest of it looks fine to me, I've only ever, well, not counting Space Marine bikes back in the day, I've only put one other different franchise's bike miniature together, and that was the Dark Knight Returns Batman bike. And it was really bad. This, however, other than the hair on, flames on Ghost Rider's face, that seems okay. That seems fine to me. Unnecessary with the flames. So, incinerate tokens, hex tokens, don't know about that, it could be a mission. This is probably related to Pen and Stare, but we'll see in a second. We crack open the card. Be very careful not to damage it trying to get out of this poly wallet. Also, let me just quickly, because this is why I left this here. Yeah, same size. Perfect. Ah, we have a mission. Yeah, that's what it'll be for then. 19 threat. Demons Downtown has our comeuppance come due. The spacing on that is slightly wrong. It's right up against the edge when it's not centered. Either way, place 3 flaming portals. Oh, that'll be the flaming portals down there then. Map E, which is the same one as the mission that Doctor Strange came with, Map E. Players score 1 victory point for each flaming portal they secure during cleanup. During the power phase, all characters within one of a flaming portal gain the Incinerate special condition. Ah, that's the twist. That's how they've made it different. In holding one of those portals, you're hurting yourself, because you get incinerated by it. Nice. Now then. Highway to Hell. That's a pretty awesome picture. Who's he dragging there? Hang on. It looks like Jax from Mortal Kombat. Who is that? Oh, I can't unsee Jax from Mortal Kombat with his metal arms. And then Deal with the Devil, which is also fantastic art. That's amazing. Is that... yeah, Carlos Cabrera does a lot of the good character art on the cards as well. Anyway, Highway to Hell. Reactive, while an allied Ghost Rider begins an advance during his activation within one of an enemy character. Oh, he's dragging them along with him. He may spend 3 to play this card. Ha! So he's like, I'm getting out here, but I'm taking one of you with me. He's dragging an enemy away from the safety of their teammates, so you can pile on them. Sorry, that's not quite... This is why I shouldn't read the cards and just let you pause the video to read them for yourself, because they go out of focus when I pull it towards me. Deal with the Devil. Oh, is that Mephisto, whatever he was called, the one that Spider-Man makes a deal with? If Ghost Rider is KO'd, he may spend 4 to play this card before he's removed from the battlefield. Choose another allied character. Remove all special conditions, remove all activation tokens, drop all objectives, then place 1 within the chosen character. If the chosen character was healthy, flip Ghost Rider to his healthy side. Enemy characters within 2 of Ghost Rider then suffers the Incinerate special condition, the chosen character is KO'd. Okay, so for instance, you've got, say, a wounded Black Widow or an Okoye or a 2-wound person and Ghost Rider's down but he died with 4 or more power on him. You spend the 4 power, and if the person you're replacing is on their healthy side, he comes back on his healthy side. Presumably, it doesn't actually specify, but presumably if they're on their wounded side, you come back on the wounded side. You kill them in the process, but you also incinerate any enemies nearby because you're just coming out of the ground in a big ball of fire, and then you replace the character. Neat. Okay. It's kind of like Age of Ultron, but it has an acceptable price tag because you're killing one of your own miniatures to get him back. And here is his card. He is 7 health, medium move, size 3 rather, and 5 threat. So that puts him at the same threat level as like the Hulk, Doctor Strange, Thor. Is MODOK 5 as well? I always forget if MODOK is 5. I think he is. 3/4/4 for defense. He does energy attacks and 1 mystic, no physical. Chains of Damnation, Flames of Hell, Pen and Stare is his best attack. I believe this does more based on the power the enemy is holding. Yes. Up to a maximum of 5, so the stronger the enemy is, the more power they're banking, the more he hurts them. Which is neat. And of course he does the Incinerate, he does Hex. Hell on Wheels advances character long, so it's a 3 power sprint forwards. He moves medium normally on that size of base, so he has quite a good normal move. But he can move across the entire table, essentially, if you're willing to spend. I see this as being a very power-hungry character. Like, he wants people to feed power to him, which is probably why he's in the Defenders, because then Wong can give him power. If you did, like, Wakandan R&D or something, you want to feed him power, essentially. Wicked Judgment This is punishing someone for attacking someone else in your team. And then of course Spirit of Vengeance. After an attack is made by an enemy character within 3 of his character, if the attack targeted another player, you gain power. So that's one way he generates more power. Then on his wounded side, he drops 1 max HP. He goes from 7 to 6, 344 defense. I don't know if anything else has changed. Hell on Wheels, Wicked Judgment. I don't think it has. Has Penance gone up? It would have been neat if Penance became even stronger when he was on his wounded side. Like you punished the Ghost of Vengeance, now be punished more. But I don't think it has. And oh yeah, Flames of Hell is a beam. Is that in focus? I think it is now. Again, if I'm reading the card, I'm moving it ever so slightly to my side so it goes out of focus. So that is Ghost Rider, who I cannot wait to get finished. I want to run the Defenders. The Defenders are fun. Ghost Rider is cool, ironically, I guess, given his nature. And Ant-Man and the Wasp, I would say don't write them off yet. Now, try them in a few battles and they suck, then sure, fine. Not being able to hold objectives is a big deal when you have so few miniatures and the game is so objective focused. Actually, I know we've already looked at their stuff. Let me just double check something about the rules for this. They drop all objective tokens they're holding. It doesn't say they can't contest, which is the important part. So they can still do contest objectives when they're tiny. So it kind of makes them good sitters actually. If they're small on a point, they're re-rolling their defense dice if they get attacked. They've got stealth. So that might be what you're supposed to do with them. It's less fun, but maybe. Anyway, let me know what you think of these 2 releases, and we will get them to the table. I'm not going to say soon. I wasn't expecting 3 releases this month, especially when one is 4 minis. But they will be on the table for sure. I'm very excited to see how they do, and I hope you are too. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more Marvel Crisis Protocol in the future, and all the other games we cover. And I'll see you next time. Ta-ta for now.